Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. Our today's video is on Safa and Marwa of Mecca. You know these two hills bear the memory of Hazrat Hajera anha, whom the Christians call Hagar. She ran between these two hills 7 times and climbed at their top 7 times to look around for water. And the Muslim pilgrims, that means Hajees, ran between these two hills to commemorate that incident. But the so-called researcher Dan Gibson tells some other stories. He dragged Safa and Marwa to Petra with a view to denying the facts related with Mecca. Although Dan Gibson and his friends deny the facts and insist that those hills were in Petra, they have no replies to these questions. How could hungry and thirsty Hagar, a woman, climb 7 times on high, steep rocky cliffs of Petra? How could she run 7 times between 2 rocks of Petra that are standing, having almost no gap between them, as Safa and Marwa of Mecca have? Where were the sand around the rocks of Petra to deceive Hagar by showing the hallucination of false waves of non-existing water, which she saw several times while on the top of the hills? Yes, she saw a mirage of water several times in the plain of sandy Mecca and found nothing after running there too. So those are Safa and Marwa of Mecca that fairly fit into the history of searching water by Hagar, as there are sandy fields around them. We have another basic question. Why did Hagar need to be thirsty and looking for water so fanatically if she and Ismail were in Petra? According to Dan Gibson, Petra was a place abundant with fauna and flora, and above all, water was available there. Then why Hagar needed to climb up hills to search for water if she were in Petra? Is it not self-contradictory? History says that the result of her helpless searching and the scream of her child Ismail for water was Allah's merciful creation of the well of Zamzam. It is in Mecca, not in Petra, so place of occurrence was undoubtedly Mecca. Petra had no relation with Zamzam, Hagar and Ismail. Rocks of Petra are too high and too steep. A woman could not climb any of those cliffs. It was impossible, 100% impossible, let alone running between and climbing on 2 of those rocks 7 times. Furthermore, she was weak due to hunger and thirst. It proves the impossibility for Hagar to be in Petra and to climb those steep rocks to look around for water. So the place to which Hagar's history is related is not Petra. The known or current history of Islam cannot be challenged by misfits and mistakes of a carefree researcher like Dan Gibson. He is too much zealous for Petra and zealous against Mecca. Yes, it is unquestionably Mecca, and the hillocks are Safa and Marwa of Mecca. These 2 hills are sloping, not steep, and they are low enough for a hungry and thirsty woman to climb up. Running is possible between those 2 hills, as there is reasonable space between them. Those are not too close to each other like Petra rocks, nor are they too far from each other for a woman to cover up the gap by running. Dan Gibson speaks against Safa and Marwa of Mecca because those seemed too small in his eyes. But we accept those as Hagar's hills because situation necessarily demands them to be small. Situation denies Petra and Petra's high rocks. Logical theory of necessity and probability stands against Petra. Natural possibilities, situational necessities, and logical proofs are for Mecca. The existence of Zamzam in Mecca near Safa and Marwa stands as the proof against any kind of doubt in the truth of Islamic history relating to Safa, Marwa, Hagar, Ismail, Zamzam, and finally the Kaaba itself. All are intertwined with one another. All of them were in Mecca, and excepting Hagar and Ismail, still those are in Mecca. This is the reality. The reality cannot be denied or rejected or challenged on the basis of deceptive documentary and sham research. Dear viewers, thank you for watching the video. Allah Hafiz.